So I'm a big technology person. I've seen very few cases where it's actually been properly thought out, where it has not been an effective tool for actually enhancing coordination. I think more often than not, when you see somebody say, oh, if we use technology for this, this will solve our problems, you have to know what your process is first before you even look to design it. I mean, it's like every other specification gathering. It's like sit down, know what your workflow is, know what your process is, map it out, and then say, okay, this we can take offline. And so that's part of what I'm doing now is I've been basically coming into the teams and, whether it's monitoring and evaluation, whether it's supply chain, even HR and finance now we're just kind of like, okay, let me know what the process is. Yes, we can design something to cover this part, 10%. We can do something to cover 70% of it. But if somebody just thinks, oh, because the internet will solve it, no. It's not going to happen. I'm not saying that in a bubble. I've seen a number of different agencies that have approached it that way, basically saying, well, if we have Kobo, we can do this. Well, how do you design Kobo? What's going to be your methodology for implementation? Who's going to have access to this? How are they going to be doing the data entry? What are you doing with it after you actually have this information? Think out those steps. Design is just as important. I mean, we talk about program design as, and I think when we talk about humanitarian response, there's a concern that, okay, by the time we get to implementation stage, maybe the design didn't account for the whole thing and we just have to find a new direction. Whereas I think that's not necessarily the case. You have all of the different permutations already mapped out. And it's the same thing with technology. For information management, for operational management, however you want to use it. So, and I think now this has been the most exciting time because you do start to see the international humanitarian community writ large coming together on certain technologies and certain platforms. Whereas I think before it was very disparate, everybody was doing their own thing and their own methodology. It's coming together a lot easier than it had been before. So example is Kobo Toolbox. We're having a lot of fun of just exploring the possibilities of it. We're able to get the information, we're able to get it securely, and we're able to get it to where we needed to have it, where we can actually, analyze the data, look for specific trends, and really make much smarter decisions than we would have been able to, say, 5-6 years ago. So I think we're in much better condition, and I think the entire humanitarian community is in much better position now to be really data-driven in our response.